like to welcome everyone to Wise, the Wise Inn. If you've not been here before, take you a little tour of this facility before you leave. It's a really nice facility. Our governor's staying here tonight. He said the accommodations was nice. So, first thing we want to do would be our song that typically Wise Club, and I know Hayside does it, not sure how many others, I don't believe anybody else, but it's the first verse of America. Our past Lieutenant Governor Ben Murphy is going to lead us in that. Let us sing. My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. If you would say the pledge with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our invocation is going to be from past Lieutenant Governor Jim Colley.
Let's pray, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening. Thank you for the call to serve, for the call to serve children, for the call to build communities, and for those folks who go by the name of Kiwanis, for they hear that call. Thank you for all of the clubs that are assembled, for our governor being able, having a safe journey here, and we pray for safe journey home for all who travel. Thank you for all that will transpire this evening in our conversation around table, for what we're going to hear, for the challenges and for the accomplishments of this year. Thank you for the hospitality of this good place, the food that will nourish our bodies, the fellowship that will nourish our spirits. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. You can be seated. I wanted to introduce some special people that's with us tonight. First, I'd like to recognize our governor that came from the Richmond Club, traveled from Richmond today. John Morse, we're glad to have you here with us. Next person is past Governor John Wright. He drove all the way from Grundy. He made it safely. Glad to have you, John. Next guest would be Trustee John Montgomery. Took office in October as our trustee. Will be serving 3 years. John is out of Roanoke and he has his wife with him. Next person I'd like to recognize would be Lieutenant Governor-elect Catherine Cummins from the Clintwood Club. The next person would be our District Foundation Director, Francis Sterling. I'd like to recognize our president of our club, too, Don Green, for allowing us to kind of take over the meeting and use it as a division council meeting. Thank you, Don. They're making some adjustments on the food over there. We'll give them a couple minutes to do that. That way we can have 2 lines to go through. We're having roast beef, corn, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and some wonderful dessert for tonight. As soon as we finish dinner, we will come back to our program and go from there. So I'd like to welcome everyone that's here. We have 12 clubs in Division 17. I think we have representation from all 12 clubs, which is fantastic. So thanks for coming out. Just give all those clubs a good hand. $7. It's a tradition that we do. It's fun. Something that you're happy about. Something sad in your life. Hopefully it's something happy. And we have a special reason we're going to use this for this coming Saturday. Cindy, our club president-elect, will be going around and doing that happy dollar, sad dollar, and she'll tell you what it's about before we get started. Also, she's going to hand out Ducky Derby. stuff for the foundation that Frances brought as she goes around. So if you're the club, senior person in your club, whether it's president or treasurer or whatever, take that back to your club, please.
And I will explain what it's for later on. Thank you, Cindy, for saving time.
You're welcome. Can everybody hear me? Because I really don't like microphones. We're going to do Happy Sad Dollar today, and all the proceeds that we raise tonight are going to go to the annual Kids Day that we have here in Wise. The Wise Kiwanis Club started it about 2 years ago, and it's a free event for the children in Wise and in the local communities around Wise County. They get free food, free gifts. Every child walks away with a gift this year. It's kind of like a bazaar. There's face painting, there's sidewalk chalk, coloring pages, bouncy houses. We partnered with the police department's Explore post, which is the youth post they have, plus the Wise Fire Department. And we're going to put on a big event this weekend, and it starts at 11:30.
As she comes around, please introduce yourself, your position in your club, and what club you're with, please.
You want to start with you, Bill?
You can start with me. I'm very happy to have all of our Kiwanis Club representatives in the state here tonight. Glad to have you, sir. All of you.
And introduce yourself.
Bill Hunsacker from Coburn. I'll be president-elect next year.
Bill Dutton, Coburn, I'm current president, and I'm about finished with my remodeling, and I'm sick to death about that.
That was for Ernie Binko, whatever he wants to say.
Yeah, she's glad to be here.
I'm Lena Griffin, I'm with the Norton Kiwanis, and I'm just happy to be here.
Shannon Scott with the Wise Host Club, and just give that happy dollar to have our officers, our governor, and all of our guests here tonight.
Shannon's a past president.
Past president of Wise Club, thank you.
Paul Bowling, I'm with the Norton Club, and I'm the step and fetch it.
Rick Colley with the Norton Club, I'm the past president, been secretary before 27 years, so glad to be here.
I'm Kevin Mullins with the Clintwood Club, and I'm the president-elect there. Mine is a little bit of a sad dollar today. I put my oldest daughter on a plane to Italy, so I'm going to be missing her for about the next 10 days. I shipped her off today, so I'm a little sad about it.
DJ Fry, Clintwood Club, past president, just happy to be here.
I'm Andy Rose, I'm just the guy. I'm happy we got a good parking spot out front. I guess Saturday I'm not going to Italy.
Catherine Cummins, president of the Clintwood Club, and I'm happy to have an opportunity to sort of network with everybody and trying to fill Jeff's shoes in the coming fiscal year.
I'm Carolyn Cummins, Clintwood Club. I'm happy to be here.
Clifton Carson, the Wise Club, and just happy that we can host everyone this evening.
These are happy dollars for all of our guests. Glad to see Ms. Cummins, and we're glad to see the governor, all of our guests. I'm treasurer at the Wise Club.
And your name, sir?
Jeff Dodson.
I'm David Rogers with the Kiwanis Club. We just been forming a new club last year. Glad to be here. Scotty Rose, treasurer. I would say I'm glad to be here, but I'm glad to be here.
I'm Carolyn Cummins' secret lover.
WDIC.
I've been dating now for 35 years. This is my wife, Kim. We're from the floor. And do you take debit cards?
I do take checks.
Well, we'll get you, we got a check. We're glad to be here.
Here's happy dollars for all of our guests. I'm Roger Byers, I'm a past president, and I'm from the Wise Club.
Nick Ryan, I'm the secretary of the St. Paul Castlewood Club, and I am happy that it's spring and not winter.
I'm Daniel Stanley, I'm the treasurer of the St. Paul Castlewood Club, and I'm happy to be here too.
I'm Sarah Sawyers, I'm the president-elect of St. Paul Castlewood Kiwanis, and I'm just happy that business is good in the real estate world.
I'm Carl Maul, payback one, past president, past lieutenant governor. I've been happy to be here, glad to see everybody.
I'm Neil Edwards. I'm happy because I've got a brand new granddaughter. My grandson on the way.
I'm Martha Counts, I'm treasurer of the Hayside Kiwanis, and I'm happy to be here.
Martha's also their chief cook over there, so she feeds us well when we're over that way.
Amen.
I'm Bill Brown, I'm president of Hayside Kiwanis. I'm glad to be here, glad Martha didn't get to cook tonight.
Happy dollars for all our guests. Greg Wagner, Vice President of the Wise Club.
Edgar Dale, Wise Club, happy to be here.
50 years as a lawyer, you just get used to it. This $6 for all our honorable guests. The other dollar is for all the ladies that are here tonight, and you all need to know I'm pretty much in charge around here.
I'm Bob Spirit. I'm happy to see everybody here, including our governor. And I am secretary of the Wise Club, have been for ages. And prior to this, I was a past president of the Clintwood Club. And they ran me off there, so I came.
Wise Club, happy to be here. You know, one thing I just thought of, we got 3 attorneys in here. That's way too many.
Ben Murphy, Wise Club, I'm a preacher and we'll stand for anything. And we stand for a lot more than attorneys do. Just happy dollar that we also, I don't think this was mentioned, Jeff, if we missed it, I asked. We have a CKI member here too.
Yes.
And I have to say this because she's my next door neighbor, she slashes my tires.
Ben's also a past lieutenant governor. So.
Gary Smith, member of the Wise Club. Happy dollars because I celebrated 100th birthday party with my father-in-law, which is Basil Jennings, a lot of y'all might know, which is a long-term member here at the Wise Club this weekend. All kinds of grandkids, great-grandkids.
Gil Blackburn, I'm the past president here at the Wise Club. Have a happy dollar for all of our Kiwanis dignitaries we have here tonight. A happy dollar this past weekend was graduation for many colleges around the country. It's a happy dollar for all the new college graduates, and in particular here at Wise, among the graduates we had were 5 that were commissioned as second lieutenants in the Army, and I had the privilege of starting that ROTC program, so at least these 5 guys can serve the country. They also have a good paying job. They don't have to go back and live in their parents' basement.
Mike Winters, Wise Club, past president. Welcome to Governor Morris and all our distinguished guests.
I'm Green, president, and I failed admitting, but when I started Kiwanis, they kept saying happy dollars. I thought that meant $5. We need to change it to happy dollar.
It really, Don, it was really $10, it wasn't $5.
My name is Cindy Smoot, and I'm the president-elect for the Wise Club. And I have a happy dollar because we have a CKI here on tonight, and I'm their advisor on campus. And so I was super excited to be able to have Sydney Bates with us tonight. She's a local girl, so most people know her. But I'm glad that she was able to find time to come hang out with all of us tonight and our guests that we have.
She could have ridden with me, but all my tires were flat.
Lee Wise, Clinch River, I'm the secretary, president-elect, and a happy dollar because we are having our inaugural 5K run on June 15th, and would love to have people advertise it on our Facebook page. So if you want to do a link to it and get some more advertising, would be great.
I'm Bob Bragg with the Wise Club. I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
I am Robert Ledford, and I'm secretary-elect for the Coburn Club, and I'm just happy to be here with such a distinguished group of Kiwanis. And I really appreciate the warm welcome that I have received here, and looking forward to working with you in the near future. Thank you.
I'm Jim Conley, past Lieutenant Governor, and I started out in the Key Club, so I have a long history with Kiwanis, and I'm so grateful for everything that Kiwanis has been in my life. Very proud of our second-term Lieutenant Governor, Jeff Dotson. Happy that you all are here. Looking forward to hearing from our governor. Sad dollar, Cindy, in that I'm going to miss Kids Day. I'll be out of town.
Who's going to cook the hot dogs?
The fellow over there, the other Jeff Dotson.
Oh.
Shanghai, I've got you covered. I got you. Sad dollar because the gal that I really fell in love with as a young teenager, Doris Day, passed today. Happy dollar. I think I've got. I'm covered. For our UVA Wise graduation, the visit of our UVA president, Jim Ryan, and for all the good things that are happening on our campuses and our schools. Happy dollar. Some of you know that our grandson had a surgical procedure on Friday. All went well. It was good. And with Mike Winters, he didn't tell you that he's a minister. I'm a minister, so men, we equal the lawyers. Wait a minute, Robert's a minister.
That must mean we have more sinners than people who eat church.
This is a tough act to follow. Dennis Sturman with the Wise Club. Happy dollar for my wife's recovery on hip surgery just recently. And you can go ahead and introduce your role.
What role?
I know. Oh.
Just look
Sorry.
at the name tag, see who she is.
I have 5 minutes later.
Okay.
Kathy? You gonna go?
I ain't giving you money.
You better have more than $1 if you got.
All I've got is a 10 up here, I don't know.
Very good.
I'm John Wright from Grundy, immediate past governor. And $1 happy is that this is the governor right now, not John Wright. I'm so thankful. I know what he's going through. The other dollar is for Jeff Dotson. He was president of my class, lieutenant governor, and we would not have had the success, I said this before to you all, if it had not been for Jeff Dotson. So let's do one thing. Let's give Jeff Dotson one clap. Okay. One is for my wife, coming with me. And the last one is for UVA being national champions in basketball.
Thank you, Cindy.
Well,
Well, I'm
John Morris. I'm the Assistant Secretary of the Kiwanis Club of Richmond. Oh, and I've got his job. I've got 3 happy dollars in there. One is because I am that third lawyer I think that Jeff was talking about, but I'm in the process of retiring. I'm stepping down from that. Second is just the wonderful turnout of all of you in Division 17 here. This is just marvelous. It's a great division, and I'm so happy to be with you and be back in Wise. It's been almost 40 years since I was here, and things have changed a little bit. And the third one, as the gentlemen at this table know, unlike John's team of lieutenant governors, he called the right stuff. They're going to play on the movie. Mine are the Morris Milers, because I was a track runner when I was in high school and college. And today I saw a video of my 6-year-old grandson running his first mile.
I'm John Montgomery. This is my wife Joyce. We're both from the Roanoke Club, longtime members of the Roanoke Club. I'm going to be speaking briefly a little later, so I want to abbreviate this and tell you that my happy dollars are about. I've had very good luck with the Wise Club Association. I won a gift basket, one of several gift baskets that Wise had.
Paid out 20 to 1, I believe.
I better stop now. I won that at the convention, and then Jeff sold me some raffle tickets at Midwinters, and I won a $200 check, which I was delighted to hear about. So I said to Cindy when I walked in, you all are selling something else in Division 17. You need to hit me up. Not so that that would be icing on the cake, but I want to return some of the gratitude that I have of being associated with your area.
I have some happy dollars. Don, that's a 10, by the way. I don't know if you see that or not. Happy dollar for my wife being here. She's put up with me for the last year and a half or so, well, really 40-some years. Being a lieutenant governor takes a lot of time, and I've enjoyed it, but I appreciate her putting up with me. Happy dollar for our governor being here, our past governor being here, our trustee being here, and a happy dollar for all the clubs that's come out. I think we have somebody representing all 12 clubs, which is unusual. I think you go to any division, it's hard to beat. We've had good success here in the past. The clubs has worked with me and been willing to step in when I've asked them to step in, step up. They've done that, and that's the reason we've been successful in our division last year. This year, I know we can't be as successful as we was last year because we growed a lot. We had 60-some members or something last year in growth, and that's just really hard to beat your own, what you've said in the past. So we're going to leave it up to the other divisions to be number 1 this year. We'd like to be number 1. We've done good. We've had growth. We're not in the hole. We've had growth. And the clubs that didn't make distinguished last year are probably going to be distinguished this year. And I can say we've got 12 clubs. We've got 9 out of 12 distinguished, which is great. You can't beat that. So well, the year before that, we only had 1, and there's only 7 in the Capital District distinguished. So we've done good, I think. So I appreciate that. Our next item on the agenda would be past Governor John Rife is going to introduce our governor, if you'd come up.
Thank you, Jeff. I want to start with the most important thing of John Morris. As you can see, I've got a list here that goes on and on, but let me give you what I think is important to maybe us as family. John's married to his wife Cricket, 45 years. He's got 2 wonderful children, and I think one of the best things about this, he's got 2 terrific grandkids. Right, John?
Correct.
And he's with them. I see him on Facebook and email. He's with them quite often. Now, he's actually from Southwest Virginia, born and raised in Lynchburg. So he's from Southwest. He's a Southwest Virginia guy. He comes from the family of pediatricians. Fortunately for Kiwanis, became a lawyer, and he joined Kiwanis. So we're so glad that we got him over in Kiwanis. He went to undergraduate at UVA, got a BA in economics. he got his law degree from University of Virginia in 1974, served in the Army briefly, moved to Richmond. He became a member of the Richmond Club, was actually actively in opening the Young Professionals Club in Richmond. So as we opened our clubs last year, John is very familiar with that. And he's working real hard right now on opening clubs throughout the Capital District. And I know he probably won't mention this, but he's going throughout the United States to a certain degree, like I did when I was governor, because he's helping other clubs open clubs right now. He actually opened a club in Baltimore. Hopefully he would get 2 more in Baltimore. He's got one in New Kent. So we're opening clubs under John right now. And we're very proud of that. He began his Kiwanis career in 1998 with Richmond. He's done all the offices. He's been lieutenant governor. You have to be trustee to be governor. When I thought about running for governor, there were 2 gentlemen that I reached out to. And I thought, if these guys are running, it's going to be tough on the poor old boy from Southwest Virginia, because I'm trying to get known and stuff. But these 2 gentlemen I knew were extremely well versed in Kiwanis and had a pretty large following. One of the gentlemen I checked with was John Morris. I said, John, are you looking to run for governor? He said, no, it's not my time yet. I thought, okay, phew. The other one I checked with was Dave Lurie. And I said, Dave, are you kind of thinking? He said, I'm thinking about running, but I've got some kids in high school right now. I'm not going to run. So I thought, well, there's 2 gentlemen that I would really have a tough time against. So they did not run and I did. So fast forward, the gentleman who followed me is John Morris, and the gentleman who is following John Morris is David Lurie. So if anything, I did pick out 2 outstanding gentlemen who I knew had qualifications and would do a great job for Kiwanis. John has done a great job for Kiwanis. I know how hard he's working right now. It's a very time-consuming job. But his love of Kiwanis and his love of children and grandkids puts him in great stead for Kiwanis. So it's my honor to welcome John Morris to the Wise Club in Division 17. John.
Well, thank you, John. I don't know if I can live up to all of that. But I was in Minneapolis when Virginia won the Final Four. So with my grandchildren, they came to the game too. I'm just not with them anywhere near as often as I would like to. But that comes when they live in Wisconsin and I'm in Virginia. My wife, Cricket, would have liked to have been here. She has recently had shoulder surgery. She is still going through the process of recovery. And one of the things that is very painful to her is long car rides. They really wear her down, and we're 350 miles away, and that was way beyond what she can tolerate right now. She's going through PT. In fact, she went there today. But she wishes she could be here and sends her love and congratulations for all you have done. Somebody mentioned the challenges. I think it was the invocation about that Kiwanis has. The biggest challenge Kiwanis has had in recent years is not finding enough to do. There's way more to do than we can get done. It's having enough people to do it. And like most service organizations, Kiwanis has been declining. But if every part of Kiwanis was like Division 17, there would be no problem along that line. You guys are the stars of the Capital District. You're my heroes. With John and Jeff certainly leading the way, but John and Jeff didn't do it by themselves. I know they didn't do it by themselves. You guys did a great job last year. You're doing a great job this year. Last year, you opened 2 new clubs. In the prior 5 years, before John's year, and John overall had 9 clubs open, but in the prior 5 years, only 3 clubs have been opened in all of the district. And you opened 2 in this division alone. And they're both doing well, they're both thriving, but you also didn't ignore your other clubs. I know from just looking at the numbers that at least a couple of the clubs which we, have gotten stronger since then. You've grown in members. And so across the board, this division is doing great. And Jeff, you're absolutely right about how well the clubs here have done, how well they're doing. The Distinguished Club Awards was not an accident. And I simply can't thank you enough. But these two guys, of course, I think of as supermen. And I very much appreciate what you have done. And I'm just right now trying to keep up with John. He left a real high barrier for me to get up to. 9 clubs is just amazing. Right now, so far in the district, we've opened 2 clubs this year. I mean, we're, as a whole district, that's what you guys did last year. But we opened one in New Kent, and about a week and a half ago, we had a blitz in Baltimore. We opened one of 3 that we were going after. We opened Canton, Fells Point. There are 2 others in the Baltimore area that we had enough members to open, enough new members and applicants, but not enough showed up at the organizational meeting, and so we couldn't get them formally opened, but we're going to get them. They will be opened, and we're trying for some others around the state. I know I'm working on one in the east end of Richmond. We've got one going in West Point. I've heard of several others around the area. I've talked to Jeff about something out this way, and he says, my God, I've already got 12 clubs. Please, no more in Division 17, and I get it. This is a very large division, but I hope that, perhaps maybe you can get one done with Division 16 in Lebanon. It would be great if that could happen, but we are going to try to maintain the momentum that John created. The current international president, Polly Lott, his mantra is going from good to great. And one of the concepts that he has been following is the idea that you get the ball rolling. You get what he calls the flywheel turning. And once that flywheel starts turning by the members and the organization working on it, then it has its momentum of its own and it keeps going. And that's what we're trying to do around the world with Kiwanis. His numbers right now, I think, a little bit ahead of where Jim Rochford's group was last year, because Jim had tremendous success in the second half of the year. I'm hoping that our group does as well. Whether we reach 9 clubs, that's awfully high in the sky, John. Darn you. But we're doing it. I think the district is better because of it. Last year we had positive growth in the district, largely because of Division 17, of course. We're not getting as many new members so far this year, so we've got our work cut out for us to repeat that. But we're doing that. Now, I'm talking about members and clubs. The reason is not because we need to have members and clubs per se. The reason is we exist to serve. We serve our communities, to serve the children in our communities. That's what Kiwanis is all about. But we need hands for service, and we need more hands for service because there are a lot more needs than we can meet. I know every one of you can look around in your own community and say, gosh, I wish we could do this, but we don't have enough people to do it. That's why we're focusing on membership. We know the service will come if we have the members. We've got to have the members to have the service. And I had asked Jeff to send me a list of the service, the projects that clubs in Division 17 do. And I don't even want to start with how much he's given me here. It is an amazing list but I sort of went through the list and did a little bit of a synopsis of what's out there. You've got scholarships, and I'm not talking about one club, I'm talking several of you are doing scholarships. You do food pantry, food distribution, backpacks, summer kids' lunches, trauma dolls or events for children who have experienced trauma, back-to-school clothing, clothing drives, reading literacy, Friends of a Library, a lot of you doing community cleanups, working with Ronald McDonald House, Special Olympics, and that's just the highlights I came out of that. What you do is just phenomenal, and what you are doing is amazing, and I thank you as on behalf of the Capital District for all you're doing. When I became president, I had several goals. one of them related to membership in clubs, another related to more service, one of them related to the service leadership, the service leadership programs, or SLPs, including CKI. It's great to have you here with us tonight. It's great the UVA WISE Club is so active, and the community and the school are so integrated here in WISE. But to all of you, and I hope most of you have SLPs either through Key Clubs or Builders Clubs. If you don't, see if you can get one. I know sometimes the schools aren't very accommodating to have us going into the schools as volunteers and the like. But if you can, the best thing that we do as a whole is what we do with our students. If you have them, that's wonderful. I encourage you, if you're not doing it, to have joint projects with them. Invite them to all of your projects. Find out what their projects are and have your members go work with them. It's the best way, frankly, to help them understand they are part of Kiwanis and to help them learn better how to do service. Service is at their heart. That's what they're in there for. But it also is a wonderful thing for them to see adults care enough to come in and do it with them. And so I want to encourage that. The Capital District is going from good to great, and Division 17 is leading the way. I can't say thanks and congratulations enough. I hope your clubs are each sending somebody to the International Convention, 1 or 2 people. That's in Orlando next month. And I sure hope to see many of you in Portsmouth at the District Convention at the end of August. Come and let people know that you're from Division 17 and what a great job you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor.
Jeff?
You take all my cheat notes?
I probably did. Yeah, I did. I like them so much.
I've asked some of the distinguished guests to speak tonight a little bit about what their position is. A lot of Kiwanians don't know what a foundation director or trustee does. So our next speaker will be John Montgomery. He is from the Roanoke Club, and he is the trustee for Southwest Virginia. There's six trustees in the Capital District, and John represents Southwest Virginia. John?
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Jeff. I will be brief, and I just wanted to use the opportunity to say that it's a delight to be with you here in Division 17. Governor John explained what a jewel Division 17 is. It's number 17 of the 17 in geographic location, but it's number 1 in terms of many measures. You alluded to the growth, which has been exceptional, the leadership that's come from this division. John Rife has been a good friend, and I like to think that our friendship has gone from good to great, to borrow the phrase of this year's campaign, that John Rife and I met several years ago. We worked together on a number of things, and I want to salute past Governor John Rife for helping to coordinate the visit of our current governor, John Morris, to the Southwest region. John Morris is here today. He'll be in Abington in Division 16 tomorrow, and he'll be visiting Roanoke in Division 15 on Wednesday. And that took a lot of coordination. And Jeff, thanks to you for helping put together such a fine event tonight. And I know the events tomorrow and Wednesday will be well attended as well. I wanted to say that although I'm somewhat new to the role of trustee, really just halfway through my first year as trustee, I am a longtime Kiwanian since the 90s, and have served the Roanoke Club in a number of ways, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to represent the other divisions besides my home division. And I'm making an effort to be more visible down in this part of the district, I was making a list of clubs that I've visited down here just in the last couple of years, and I've been to meetings at Grundy and Hurley and St. Paul Castlewood and Clinchco, and participated in training at Clintwood. It's my first time to Wise actually ever, even though I've lived in the state of Virginia 50 years, and I've been impressed with what I've seen. I don't know how impressed I'm going to be with taking the road back to the interstate. But I want you to know that I have a nice association with John Morris as well. I met him at an international convention in Hawaii, of all places. We happened to be seated next to each other.
It was tough duty being
Tough duty. It was, we've gone through the ranks, haven't we, John? This was, I guess, early 2000s. We were seated next to each other by chance at the international convention and learned that we had much in common, not only being Kiwanians about the same length of time and having the same first name, but also attending the same college. I'm a graduate of the University of Virginia as well, and we're proud to have the association with the University of Virginia at Wise. So we've become good friends with John Morris as well. It's my pleasure to serve Governor Morris and also to work with the lieutenant governors. Jeff Dotson's praises have been sung multiple times. I would just like to add that my first association with Jeff Dotson and Kathy was when I attended the Hurley Charter Night. And I really knew very few people in the room, a couple of people, but John Reif was very involved, Jerry Jones was very involved, David Hepner was very involved, and Jeff and Kathy made me feel comfortable and told me a little bit about the lay of the land and how the relationship is built. So I want to say to the rest of you that, I'm super lucky on winning prizes from this area, but I don't want to win so many more prizes. I want to be supportive of other things, and would like to support that not only with happy dollars and sad dollars, but in my presence, if that will lend something to it. I'm not afraid to drive here and drive back late at night. So please include me when you can. I look forward to getting to know you better in the coming years. Thank you.
I've also asked, Francis, you want me to bring you a mic over there?
No.
Francis is our foundation director for Division 17, and she wants to talk to you a few minutes and talk to you about our Ducky Derby that's coming up.
Well, and tell what the foundation is.
You want a
Since
mic?
you mentioned that earlier.
You want a mic?
Do I need a mic? No. Okay.
She is a foundation director, in case you don't remember that. But she asks me all the time, what am I?
I can never remember. Okay, they're the trustees or they're directors. I'm not a president. I'm not a governor. What am I? And coming up here, the way I figure it, with that good food, every step I take is a calorie used. First of all, just very briefly, the foundation was established, the Capital District Kiwanis Foundation, now I finally memorized the name, was established in 1982, and what we do is raise funds, and we're not the only fundraising arm of the district, but we raise funds that we then give out in scholarships. There are 2 scholarships annually, one to Key Club members and one to non-Key Club members. These are all seniors who are going on to accredited colleges the next fall. We also give club grants from no less than $100, no less than $5,000, and we consider those grants every 6 months. What I'm going to talk about tonight, and we do have a very nice website. If you want more information, either contact me or go to the Capital District Kiwanis Foundation website. But one of the biggest things we have been doing since we were established in 1982 is giving money to pediatric hospitals in our district. And remember, our district goes from Delaware, Maryland, and all of Virginia except Big Stone and Lee County. So we give the major pediatric hospitals in Delaware, Maryland, and all throughout Virginia, including Roanoke. There's 7 of those that we give money to every year. And we also give money to Niswonger in Johnson City that is outside of our district, but so many people from southwestern Virginia use Nicewanger that the foundation decided we better give them some money too. And since 1982, we have donated over $695,500 to these pediatric hospitals. And how we get that money principally is through what we call the Ducky Derby, and which is a raffle. I won't go into the history, but there's a reason why it was called the Ducky Derby. But it is a raffle. And it is, the raffle occurs at Decon, and in August, Decon's going to be August 23rd to the 25th in Portsmouth. I went to school in Norfolk, so I say Portsmouth. And the goal this year is to raise $11,500. We do have other monies in the foundation, but that's the minimum we want to raise. Last year our goal was just around $10,000, and we raised, I think, at least $12,000 to $13,000. So, you know, we want to get more. Anyway, every club is being sent these little receipts, tickets, or let's see, this is a Ducky Derby adoption certificate. Thank you, Charles Marks up in Delaware. He's the man in charge of this. And their prizes for this raffle are $500, $400, $300, $200, or $100 cash, and $50 gift cards. And I am very happy to say that last year, the Wise Club won a $50 gift card. So I was really happy about that. And I'll be very glad to sell you some. But these sell for 1 for $5, 3 for $10. Now, if you don't want to buy one individually or buy 3 individually, please consider doing what our club and a lot of other clubs do. They buy them for the club. And then when you get it, if you win a gift card, that goes back to your club. Or if you win your cash, it goes into your club coffers. So, or you might want to buy some and donate them to your church or whatever, and that way you're making, in a way, making a double donation. So anyway, that is what Ducky Derby is. It's a way of raising money to give to the pediatric hospitals, and we do it with these certificates. Every club has been given, as I said, have been given these out. The front explains what Ducky Derby is, and I really am kind of embarrassed, but need to say this. They've been changed from what they looked like in the past. And I opened up the envelope and looked at it and said, Charlie, where do we put our names? And it took me 5 minutes to turn it on the back, and that's where your name and address and everything else is. So if you've seen these before, what you do is pay your money to your treasurer or secretary, make sure you get all the information filled out, and then the club secretary or treasurer or whoever your club designates sends everything back in, and there's information in each packet. So if you have any questions, don't ask me now. Ask me afterwards, or ask Jeff to ask me. Thank you. Use up some more calories.
I've asked Catherine Cummings, which is the president of the Clintwood Club, and she is the lieutenant governor designate. She takes office October 1 of this year and will serve. And Catherine, if you'd come up and say a few words.
Thank you. I really didn't have any prepared statements. I'm just looking forward to getting to each of the clubs and meeting all of you guys. I'll be tagging along with Jeff on all of his next visits. I'm going to miss going to 2 clubs, Wise and Council, I believe. I'm going to be off in Bonaire scuba diving. So I will not be thinking Kiwanis at all.
Poor excuse.
Other than that, I hope to be tagging along, gradually getting to know you guys. Jeff's being a tall order filling Jeff's shoes, but I'm going to give it a shot. And so I look forward to the coming year as your Lieutenant Governor. So thank you.
She's following in her father's footsteps. He was lieutenant governor too for Clintwood, so.
Yeah, my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Both.
Both were. We lived about 1,500 feet from each other, I guess. She lived on one side of West Main and I lived on the other. And her dad taught me in school government, so anyway, or I believe it was government.
Paid off.
But anyway, welcome. I've got a few announcements I want to make. My last official visit to your club is starting this week. I meet in Hayside on Thursday. I'm in Hurley on Friday. And this will be a contact visit. I've already sent out the information on what I'm looking for when I come around. So within the next 8 weeks or something, I should be visiting all 12 clubs during that period of time. Catherine's going to try to make all of them, but 2 I think she said she couldn't make. During that time, I have distinguished club certificates, patches that go on your banners, a distinguished president pin, and a distinguished secretary pin to give to 9 out of 12 clubs that became distinguished. So I'm looking forward to that. I was trying to make it a big deal so everybody would fix dinner. So Hayside's starting off good. They're going to have sauerkraut weenies and cornbread and soup beans this coming Thursday. So just for you all to remember, you know, when I come around, I'll probably be hungry. Just joking. Okay. Next thing I want to mention, club elections were due by May the 15th. The secretaries must report those club elections by June the 10th. And I need that information, obviously. The governor's already asked for it. And I probably won't have that. Most clubs, I think we got 3 out of 12 reported already. Some of them's already had it, may probably wait to do the report for the May month to report those elections. So I think most of them's had it. This year, we're going to have training in Clintwood like we have for the last several years. That's on June the 19th. That's on a Wednesday. It's going to start at 5 o'clock and go to 9 o'clock. It's at the same location, Dixon County Education and Career Center, I believe is what it's called. It's on Happy Valley Drive. I'm going to send out the information on that in the next few days. It is for presidents, secretaries, and this year we're opening up for treasurers. I'm hoping to have treasurers come. Rife will be teaching president training. I will be doing secretary training. And John Montgomery is going to be doing treasurer training as long as we have enough come in. So, Ron Hilton, there's no excuses that you can't go anymore. Just because you're a treasurer. So, I've had several clubs always ask why are they not training for treasurers. It's in the manual. We might as well take advantage of it. And this is at 5 o'clock, and I know that's early to try to get to training on a Wednesday. Because of that, at least this is the 3rd year that I'm aware of, we cater it. TJ over here, TJ, right? Yes. I started to say RJ, wrong. Has a catering business, him and his family, and they do barbecue for us, baked beans, coleslaw, I think, banana pudding, which is great. So anyway, we will have dinner for everybody that comes and drinks. So you know, don't worry about trying to pick something to eat on the way up. On the way over there. So information will be going out probably in the next week. Division Conference, DCON as we call it, is August the 23rd through the 25th. Where's that at, Francis? Portsmouth, Virginia. Portsmouth. So if you've never been to a DCON, it's nice to go. You meet a lot of people from different clubs. We always enjoy it. The last thing on the agenda is trying to elect a lieutenant governor for the 2021 year. I've served 2 terms. I end up finishing my last term September the 30th. Catherine Cummins was elected last year in Hayside to serve October 1 through September 30th of 2020. And we need another lieutenant governor to take her place at that period of time. And first of all, I'm going to open the floor up for nominations if anybody's interested in being a lieutenant governor. To be a lieutenant governor, you have to be a past president. So, anybody interested?
I'd like to nominate Catherine Cummings.
That sounds like a good idea, John. Do we have a second on Catherine Cummings?
I'll second that.
We've got a second on it. She has agreed to serve 2 terms, which I think after you serve 2 terms, I think that's the bylaw says you can serve 2 unless you have permission from the board. And seemed like your second year is a little easier. You get to know your clubs very well. And obviously, somebody comes in for a year and goes back out. I don't think you get, I don't think the clubs get served as good as if you serve 2 years, because you really know what you're doing, especially the second year. So she's agreed to serve. So first of all, I don't have a pen with me. I need to nominate a committee secretary for recording their events tonight. Last year, David Yates did it for me. David couldn't make it. He's the secretary of Hayside. Daniel Stanley back here, the treasurer of St. Paul Castlewood Club, has agreed to do that. And I'd like to nominate Daniel to be our recording secretary for our division council meeting. Do we have a second on that? Have a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Daniel will serve and record our minutes so I can send them into Capital District. Okay, we have a nomination for Lieutenant Governor. Catherine Cummins, we had a second on it. Somebody who seconded it? T.J. Fry. Okay, is that how you pronounce your last name? Thought it was. Okay. So nominations, I'll make a motion, nomination closed. Do we have a second on that?
Yes.
Nomination closed. All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Okay, nomination closed. Okay. Each club is allowed to have 3 delegates to vote. So if you have more than 3 here, 3 of you vote. I don't guess we'll have any contestants. So anyway, all those in favor of Catherine Cummings being Lieutenant Governor for 2021, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? You are hereby elected. Let me read this pledge, and she knows what it's about. She signed it last year. She has to sign this one. It says, I, Catherine Cummins, a member of good standing with the Kiwanis Club of Clintwood, as a nominee for the office of Lieutenant Governor, elect or Lieutenant Governor designate of Division 17 of the Capital District, hereby agree the following. I allow my name to be placed on a nominating list for Lieutenant Governor or elect or designate. If elected, I will attend the Governor-elect Leadership Team Education Conference. She just completed hers for the year that she's getting ready to serve. At the district convention or the international, you get this up here where I can read it. At the international convention or midwinter conference in the region. The international convention, all meetings of the Lieutenant Governor Advisory Council, and all other conferences for the division and clubs of the division as outlined by Kiwanis International or the Governor of the Capital District during my year as Lieutenant Governor. As Lieutenant Governor designate, I will arrange a club leadership education session with a certified instructor following the Leadership Team Education Conference and prior to September the 1st. As Lieutenant Governor designate, I will make a minimum of 1 contact visit to each club in the division between, these dates has changed some, so I won't read the dates. And you also agree to make a board visit to the board of directors of each club. And as Lieutenant Governor, you also agree to make a progress report visit to each club. As Lieutenant Governor, I will coordinate with other Lieutenant Governors in my region to schedule, plan, and execute a midwinter education conference and shall include in the election as a district trustee when needed according to the Capital District bylaws. As Lieutenant Governor, I will coordinate with regional counterparts and committee members to conduct regional projects and programs. As Lieutenant Governor, I will promote the international, district, and division programs of service of the district and division goals as set forth by and under the direction of the Governor. As Lieutenant Governor, I will between March the 1st and April the 1st convene an election conference for Lieutenant Governor designate or Lieutenant Governor elect in a manner prescribed by the district bylaws. I will file the district election report with the district secretary by April the 15th. As Lieutenant Governor-elect, designate, and Lieutenant Governor, I will allow my contact information to be posted on the district website. As Lieutenant Governor, I will perform all the duties as assigned by the Governor or Board of Trustees. There's a place for her to sign it. So that's pretty much what she does. People that's had Lieutenant Governors or club pretty much know what Lieutenant Governors do. So she agreed to do that. She needs to sign that before she goes today. And one thing that I will say to do, please, all these clubs needs to consider having someone, you have 2 years, having someone willing to step in as Lieutenant Governor for 21, 22, I guess it is. So we've had, prior to me was Norton. I've served 2 years. Ben has served, Jim has served from our club. Haysai's had a couple. John has served as Lieutenant Governor. So we need some of these clubs to step up. Somebody in their club be willing to serve as Lieutenant Governor. So we don't want to leave Catherine Cummings out there holding the bag and not having someone to replace her, because by bylaws, she's only allowed to serve 2 years unless it's specially approved. So please do that. Remember the 5K that Clinch River has going on. If you want a flyer, you have some flyers with you. Please get those before you go. Past Governor, you ever?
Can I make a couple comments? Yes. I'd like to thank the Wise Club. This is not easy to put on. It isn't. I've done these several times, and the Wise Club, y'all done a great job. So let's give the Wise Club one clap. If I could do this. We have 2 new clubs with us tonight, and as John knows now, and is finding out, 2 clubs are very difficult to start in our capital district. And if we don't do this, we can't serve the children of the world. So I'd like to recognize St. Paul Castle. Would you please stand up? You three, please stand up. Let's give them one clap. Thank you. The other new club, let's go. Would you please stand up? Let's give them one clap. And then I'd like to have the picture. We'd like to take pictures, but Governor, this is the J table, by the way. We've got John, and J. So we'd like to take a picture as soon as we get through. And Lieutenant Governor, would you be with us when we get through, please?
4 J's and a K. No, or C.
But thank you all so much for putting this on. This is challenging. And I've said this several times with you all in the room. Jeff's done a wonderful job this past year. And we've had a very successful year. John, I hope, will surpass this year. And so far, he's on a track record about to do that. So thank you, Governor, for coming. Thank you.
Anybody from the Wise Club having service hours, we can document that before you
Jeff,
go.
one thing regarding the Wise Club and regarding the CKI at the University of Virginia's College of Wise. Each spring there is an award ceremony, and numerous awards are given for service to the campus and the campus community. CKI, Club of the Year. Club of the Year. The outstanding club. Cindy Smoot, because she's been one of the spark plugs, and Cindy, our campus advisor, our college advisor, was named advisor for you.
Crystal Moore.
Crystal Moore, Dr. Crystal Moore, advisor for you.
Cindy, tell them what you do for CKI.
I'm the Kiwanis Family Relations Committee Chair for CKI at Kiwanis.
And all those that are in Kiwanis, most of them are obviously school let out Saturday. Is that for graduation?
Yes.
And it's out, so most of the people that are out there in college are gone. So Sydney's local. We appreciate you coming. So, I gave the governor a couple of things from the town of Wise. I gave him an official Big Glades hat today. And a couple of little things. Give him a little tour of Wise and the campus out at the college. Also, we have something here from the Chancellor in reference to,
Teenager of the Year.
there you go. This is from her. Also, the Chancellor sent this by Bob Gray, which is a Vice Chancellor at the college. This is a little gift from the college with some things in it I'm sure you enjoy.
Wow, well, thank you.
A swag bag.
Thank you.
Does anybody have anything that they need to bring up before we go?
And would you mind to run through that again?
Let me get my list, Don.
And isn't he a UVA grad?
Yeah. He tried to practice law, but I don't know if it ever worked out for him. But anyway, Don, anybody have anything? If not, we're adjourned. If they have safe travels home.